and welcome to Drop Frames.
Hey,
Ken, you were late, so we get to make fun of you.
I'm a terrible person.
I've watched you for the past 10 minutes decide whether you want to wear a hat, whether you don't want to wear the hat, where your hair's at in the hat.
That's right.
Glasses, no glasses.
It's important.
It is. Well, I mean, to some. Me and Zeke just show up. We're just like, fuck it. We just don't care. Actually does the thing where he doesn't wear his hat until right before we go live.
Yeah. Let's see. My hair was really jacked. I just woke up. So I was like, yeah, maybe I should put a hat on. And then I was like, fuck the hat. And then I took my glasses off. I was like, I can't see shit. Put the glasses back on.
I don't like hats.
It's like Drew Carey. Like Drew Carey with his glasses. Drew Carey doesn't need glasses. He had LASIK.
No, yeah.
They're a prop now.
Oh, that's true. I didn't
know that. That's super weird.
So wait, does he even have?
Puts them on before, like right before he goes on camera.
Are they just like? Is it just like no vision correcting lenses? Then it's just like a normal glass lens.
Just glass, just straight up glass.
I think I read that and I forgot because I always see him with them on. So I'm just like, he wears glasses.
Well, I had a friend who worked on Who's Line for a while, like backstage doing like stage managing or something, and she was like, yeah, when Drew Carey comes in for the new season, like he's got a fucking full beard, like he like lets that shit grow out and like doesn't wear his glasses because he doesn't need them.
Yeah. I haven't watched Price is Right in a very long time, but it's because I don't have cable. There's no other way to watch that, but it's a good show if you do. I used to watch it as a kid growing up. Every morning.
Ken, I think the no hat look was a good choice.
Thanks.
I agree.
Thanks.
It worked out. It worked out.
I was like, I look like a tool. Take this off.
We didn't go that far. We didn't judge you that hard. That was your own self-judgment, not our judgment. Don't place that on us.
Yeah.
I was so excited to come, and I got up. We got up really early this morning, but Mary was like, I want to go to the gym. So I was like, oh, I was still in bed and I was like being all sweet and cuddling with her. I was like, I really don't want to go. I'm just going to stay in bed. She's like, oh, you're so sweet. Okay, you just stay there. And I went back to sleep, and then I woke up to my phone going off and JP calling me gassy Mexican and being late. I was like, Jesus Christ.
It's one of the rudest things someone can say to another man.
I don't think I'll sleep another 6 hours. Jesus.
That's true.
Anyway.
That's true. Anyways, I guess for those that don't know who Ken is, for those that only live in Twitch land and don't really venture over into the YouTube world, why don't you give a quick rundown of who you are, what you're about, and everything Cinnamon Toast Ken.
One of those losers on YouTube that play video games, not the good games that you see on Twitch, like the shitty Flash games that they're good for one laugh and then a subscribe and a like. That's what I do. But now I'm trying to come over to Twitch because Twitch is a lot more fun than YouTube is. And so yeah, if all you guys in Twitch want to follow me, let me plug myself, Cinnamon Toast Ken. You come over, yeah. Don't worry about the YouTube because you won't stay long for that. You guys want Twitch content, right? Yeah, we'll have plenty of that.
There you go.
Cinnamon Toast Ken, the best.
How what did you originally start doing on YouTube? Like, what was your big break? Because everyone kind of has some sort of a break on the internet. What was yours?
My big break. Well, I started out, I made one Minecraft video because that was the thing, it still kind of is, 5-6 years ago, whenever I started. And then horror games were just the best thing ever. So Amnesia, The Dark Descent. And my big break comes in the form of a little Swedish douchebag named PewDiePie. He had a custom map made for him, and he had a competition back when you could leave like video replies on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's how long ago that was. And he's like, play my game, do a let's play of it. Leave the video, and I'll pick some winners to shout them out. And so I did that, and he didn't pick me. He picked somebody else.
This is going to be a great story, but it's already depressing, Ken.
And his new girlfriend at the time, Marzia, they're still together. She picked me. She's like, this guy's good. He later told me that he felt threatened by me, but as you can see from numbers these days, he doesn't have anything to worry about that. But anyway, so he shouted me out, and that gave me my big boost to start out with. And then from there, I'm mooching off of other YouTubers as much as I could.
I mean, that's the life. It's really all that. It's the social ladder of Twitch and of YouTube. It's all you got to do. Just keep moving.
That's why I'm here, right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, yes, Cinnamon Toast Ken, Twitch.
Zeke, are those on backwards?
What? These are my.
How do you put glasses on backwards?
What? These are prescription glasses.
Oh,
They look nice.
I need these. You've never noticed me wearing these before?
no, I never have.
I need these to see.
I like the white band. Are those taped together, or is it the way they are?
No, it's actually just a
Is it
yellow
just like a gold?
in the middle for no reason. There.
Interesting.
I just felt left out.
They
Everybody
sit
else
so
has-
high up on your nose, though. I was just like, are they backwards?
Well, they're built for a child, I think. They're children's glasses.
Oh, Mr. Carnage, you're muted. I can't hear a thing you're
Oh,
saying.
I'm good. We're good.
Okay. I saw you say something and nothing happened.
I'm sorry. You got to sit them. There you go. A little bit further down on the nose. Yeah. Not that far, because then you can't. Then you look like you look like you're about to hit on me or some shit.
Ken, tell me about your mother. Do you have a good relationship with your mother?
Well, I still dream about her every night. You know, not sexually, Mr. Freud.
Interesting.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
I'm glad Zeke didn't go his normal path. So I heard you want to make it on Twitch. Have a seat on this couch over here.
God, someone still needs to do that. No one's done that yet. Of all the ideas that you can copy, why has no one copied the casting couch yet for like Twitch interviews?
Like a whole theme for your channel.
Yeah.
Welcome to the casting couch.
And
Wait,
you
how would you do that without getting your channel shut down?
Well, no,
like
it's not. You don't fucking ask them to have sex with you. You just ask them Twitch questions, Ken. You don't go the full fucking thing.
I mean,
You just ask them about their channel in the same way that they do there, and then when you give them the same answers that the creepy guys do in those videos.
Oh God.
Not that I've watched those videos and know anything.
You
Like
know.
who watches
How
those?
experienced do
I've read the scripts, obviously.
I mean, I've always skipped the part where they talk, so I wouldn't know. Thank you.
I do too. Actually, that's my favorite part. If I'm honest, that's. I like a little laughter before my porn. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, little comedy.
Like to get the stage set.
Yeah.
Get a little bit immersed in the
Yeah,
situation.
because then I don't. Well, we could go real dark.
You're into clown shit too, JP?
Yep,
I'm
all the
totally
time.
into clown shit.
Yep.
I just want you to know that.
It was my favorite movie. You ever seen that, Zeke?
Which one?
I didn't know there was multiple It's. I thought there's only one. Is there multiple It movies? Hold on.
Oh, It.
Yeah, what'd you think I
When you
said?
said It was my favorite movie,
Yeah.
that's fucking misleading. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, how else am I going to talk about
A little
that?
ambiguous. It was my favorite movie. What was? It was. Are you? Like, who's on first?
Apparently, they're remaking that according to the Googles. That would be an interest. Anyways, I don't know
nice
what.
if they made
Speaking of movies, they just announced the Deus Ex movie.
Wait, what?
At Dice, apparently. Someone in chat said they
What?
just announced the
What?
Dice, the Deus Ex movie.
What?
They're gonna ruin it, but I'm still excited.
Yeah, no. Hold on. It's on IMDb. Yep. Yep, that's happening.
It could be cool if they go the right direction with it. It could be cool, but
Did you ever play that, Ken?
I played about half of it, and then my little young mind couldn't handle it anymore.
It's true. You got further, and I don't think I ever touched it.
I have severe game ADD these days. It's from all the crack. I mean,
Yeah, crack
Crap
will do that
games.
to you. Don't only once.
You could like crack too?
hey, put those glasses
Oh my
back
god!
on.
I'm just, man, we're, it's like we're dancing.
Co, is that something? Is it probably the biggest Deus Ex fanboy here, at least among the four of us? Is that something that excites you to see a movie?
I don't watch movies.
Is there any like video game movie that people are excited about? Or have been excited about? Like, I'll watch the Mario Brothers movie because it's fucking terribly bad.
Wave your hands from side to
Yeah.
Yeah, not really, man. I mean, movies and games are two completely different beasts. So I mean, you have to be like an ultra fanboy to really love both of them. Don't get me wrong, some people do, but like I don't really do movies. I heard there was like a Star Trek movie that came out like a few months back. I haven't seen that.
You never saw the new Star Wars? Teach their
You know
own.
what? The only movie that I may actually go and see is Deadpool. I've heard so many good things about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that this
And
weekend.
he's kind of like, he's got a game, and I love the game too. But he like that whole IP kind of trends. What's the right word?
Transcends.
It works. Yeah, it transcends so many different genres.
Yeah.
So it really works wherever you take it.
Yeah.
But not all IPs are like that. Apparently, there's like a Witcher movie coming out.
There's an Assassin's Creed that actually just wrapped up filming.
I wonder how that one's gonna be.
Is
I've
it a
always thought the
Warcraft movie?
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
universe
Warcraft movie. Yeah.
movie. Yeah, the Warcraft movie too.
Yeah.
Is it? I'm just wondering if the fucking Assassin's Creed movie is just going to be like 15 minutes of film and then it just repeats itself.
It's,
I really
uh,
hope at one point he's following a dude through a crowd, and he's like, "I have to stay close, but I can't stay too far." And then he just kind of leans down and goes, "This is so dumb."
wait, did they had a. I didn't know there was a trailer out for this. Is that true? No, I don't think it is actually.
Oh, the Last of Us movie. That's a good point, Hickory, and that could be good.
Ooh,
Last
now
of Us
that I'd
could
see.
be good.
Wait, there
that
is
was-
a fucking trailer for Assassin's Creed.
really.
Is this real? This was published on August 10th. Oh no, it's fake. All right, everyone's saying it's fake. Never mind. But apparently, Michael Fassbender is the guy who's playing. He's playing the assassins or the assassin in it. If you know who that is. But anyways, it'll probably be terrible.
I know that name. I don't know. I can't remember who it is.
He's done. Let's see here. He was in Steve Jobs, Macbeth. He was Magneto in X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Prometheus.
That's why I know him.
Yeah. I didn't know he was also in. He did the voice of in Fable 3. I don't know. I don't know.
Good old Fable 3. So many dreams crushed.
Yep. What a terrible
And
fucking game.
careers.
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Ken, going back to you, why aren't you on? I'm just going to cut to all of, because we've had so many YouTubers on and I have so many stock questions for that. But for you, you haven't made the jump over to Twitch fully yet.
No, I haven't.
What is it? Why?
Why?
Yeah, I'm going to flat out ask you, like, what is it? Are you worried? Is it too much additional work? Is it the amount of time that you have to put into streaming? Like, what is it?
Well, just to be blunt about it, it's
Of course,
money.
I welcome it.
It's the money. At this current time in my YouTube career, I would have to have a very sizable Twitch channel to even consider, doing it full time.
Sure.
And so with that, I just do it for fun. So it's like, I could build it. I could really work on it. Like it was last year, I was doing it pretty steady, and I would get 2,000, 3,000 concurrent viewers, and then I stopped. And now I'm back, and I get like a couple of hundred because everybody left, I guess. But it's I do.
I feel like your mind is working on the.
My mind is going like a bunch of
great.
different directions because there's a bunch of different reasons. But mainly, I just do it for fun. So whenever I feel like, hey, I'm just gonna play a game for myself, I'll turn on Twitch and do that. And then whenever I think, man, Twitch is a lot of fun, I could go over and do it full time. But then this paycheck I just got from YouTube is really nice, and I think I'll just keep focusing on that. And then by the time I get finished recording videos for the day, I don't feel like streaming for 6 hours or 4
So,
hours.
quick question: if money wasn't a factor,
Twitch all the way.
which one do you think you'd prefer? Oh, Twitch all the way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually being able to read the chat instead of like troll ass comments is way better. Having a community is just so much nicer. I mean, you have a YouTube community, but it's very what's the word? There's no connection. You can't go chat to the people.
Have you tried streaming on YouTube Gaming? Has that ever been something you've considered? Like
They sent me a lot of emails, and then I compared both, and I was like, why would I stream on YouTube Gaming? Why would I? Give me a good reason why. And they're like, and I was like, okay, well, Twitch.
Is that kind of like the common consensus between? I mean, when I say like between you guys, I say like the upper echelon of YouTube. Is that kind of what everyone thinks for the most part?
Depending, like the really big channel guys were like, yeah, YouTube Gaming's cool because they can push the numbers. Because the only thing YouTube Gaming really does is boost your analytics, like your YouTube numbers, which helps your channel a little bit in the algorithms. But there's already people on Twitch that want to see streaming, so you already got the community there.
Right.
And if you were just starting out between Twitch or YouTube Gaming, you can actually eventually quit your job with Twitch and do it full time. Yeah. Whereas YouTube Gaming, you're never going to be able to do that. You're just going to sit there and stream.
In what sense? In the sense that you just won't get the monetary value out of it, or it won't grow?
Ads are worth a lot less on YouTube than they are on Twitch.
Okay.
And there's also the subscription factor of it. And I mean, there's options on YouTube, like YouTube Red, and then they can also donate to your channel directly, but YouTube takes a cut of that. The numbers, you can do a lot more with a lot less on Twitch than you can on YouTube.
Sure. That makes sense. Do you think that like it? Do you know of a channel in the past 6 months that's like started on YouTube and gotten huge on YouTube and stayed on YouTube? Because I can't really think of anyone that's done that. But
In the past 6 months,
yeah,
no.
or maybe even the past year. Like I feel like all of the big like booms have happened on Twitch in terms of new channels or new content creators. Like that doesn't really exist on YouTube anymore.
Jacksepticeye his channel's old, but he hasn't really been trying to do it. It's been a little over a year. Okay. He's probably the youngest big channel that I can think of. But other than that, I'm sure there are some that are pretty sizable, but I haven't heard of them yet.
Gotcha. When you were streaming, well, go ahead. Actually, Zeke.
Yeah, my question is about like the YouTube, like the actual YouTubers. Like, do you feel like a close knit like friendship with other people who do the same thing that you do? Because the reason why I asked is because I've met some of like my best friends that I'll probably have forever just from other Twitch streamers. And I'm just wondering like how does that like work with YouTube?
I figure there's a couple of similarities since I guess the entertainment business part of it really that it's almost kind of like a high school. Like there's your cool kids that all hang out in their little knit group, and then there's people that just come by that want to do a video with you and hang out for like an hour, and then you never talk to them again.
I feel like that doesn't happen. That aspect of it doesn't happen in Twitch because if that's the case, they will immediately get shit on and like it will never happen again. Like
that'd be nice.
I feel like that doesn't happen in Twitch because people don't let others get away with it, and
That's
the
nice.
community doesn't let others get away with it. If that makes sense, like
Yeah.
I don't know,
But
maybe Coh and Zeke could talk to that as well. But
as you were saying, like you met a lot of people that like your best friends now, and I have met like a lot of my good friends through YouTube. But I've also it's kind of balanced out for like every nice genuine person that actually cares, gives a shit about you. I've met one person that just wants, maybe they got famous too fast or famous. I use that word loosely. They got popular and money too fast, and now they're just a huge douchebag. But
that's the thing, like people like I guess like people who on the outside of Twitch who don't know, like who ask me like, oh, what do you do? And you talk about the events, like, oh, there's a lot of big guys, like they're real assholes, I bet. And as far as Twitch goes, like not really. I mean, you struggle to find like someone that I really don't like, Yeah. I don't think I've met someone that I really am just like, what a fucking dickhole,
I've only met one so far on Twitch like that. Only one. And I didn't really meet him. It was an email. And,
is he right here?
No, there's nobody in this group. Nobody in this group. But,
hey, ow, don't bite me.
but let's see. A lot of the bigger guys in YouTube, like PewDiePie and Markiplier and those guys they're more the nice ones, in my opinion. I guess because they're not really looking for that.
yeah,
Or like they're more genuine, and then it's the small, like not say smaller, the smaller than them channels. You gotta watch out for those guys. Those guys are those guys are shady.
Psychologically speaking, it's once you're at that top, there's no reason to be a dick, right? Because
Yeah, I
like you
guess
kind of got everything, but when you're in
Right.
the middle, you have something to fight for, and so that's where a
Yeah.
lot of that comes off. At least that's what I would view it as. But
I'm still a middle guy, I guess, as far as size goes. But I'm lucky that I have these friends that. Like if I like, oh, my channel's doing pretty poor. Hey man, let's play a game? It'd be fun, but I'll tell them I'm straight up about it. It's like, my channel kind of sucks right now. Can you help me out? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, it's cool. Instead of being like, hey, let me give you some bullshit story about how nice I am and how much I love you. Let's play a game. I'm just like, hey, dude,
there you go.
you got all the people. Throw me some. And they're like, okay, cool.
I was
Wait a minute. Does that
ahead.
come around to bite you if you're fake nice to people? Because I do that all the time.
It depends. Wait a minute. I don't feel like we're that close anymore.
Way to go, Zeke. You've ruined it. The other thing, and this is maybe a question to Zeke and Coh as well, because I didn't start thinking about it until you brought it up the other day on your stream, Ken, is you were talking about how YouTube definitely has like seasons. And like the summer season is where, one, the CPMs go up, and two, the views come because everyone's on break. Everyone can watch it. Do you guys feel like that exists on Twitch as well?
It's really interesting you say that. First of all, it definitely does. Numerically and statistically, there are definitely waves that are repeated yearly on Twitch. However, funny enough, it really depends on where you are and what kind of schedule you have. Because if you're streaming really late night anyway, and you're generally after everyone's school as it is, regardless,
Right.
you won't see a big deal. However, if you're one of those people that streams like early afternoon, where the first half quarter of your stream is primarily when people would be at school, you may see a large increase, an influx of viewers at the beginning. Me, however, as the person who is frequently, I'm an 8 a.m. every day streamer. So for me, a lot of times during the summer, I will see sometimes I'll see increases, but a lot of times, because a lot of the people that normally get up with me in the mornings are no longer having to get up in the mornings,
Wow.
I will actually have like a small dip at the beginning of a lot of times. So it's kind of weird how breaks work. Holidays, like the week of Christmas, between December and New Year, is a very interesting time on Twitch. There's just lots of little
Interesting.
factors.
How, like, to go into that more? Is it worse? Is it better? Like, what do you?
Believe it or not, it's been really hard to read, because the numbers that I've gotten last year did not show the same trends as the year before it. There was actually a lot more activity this year than last year. And this is just on my channel. So it's not like normal viewer growth numbers. It's like an influx of other numbers. So it's kind of hard to read. I don't really have any good info on that yet.
I'm kind of the same way.
Interesting. Yeah, summer especially. If you look at the trends like on Twinge over like the 3-month summer break and stuff, the summer break for school and stuff like that, you'll see some pretty interesting dips and summarizes.
This is another question for Co, I guess. When it comes to like subs and sub counts, I kind of feel like around big holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, like big shopping holidays, the sub counts actually drop more than rise because people are spending money elsewhere. Do you agree with that, or?
Yes, I would agree with that.
I would say like the sub counts do dip, but I would say that the tips are a little better.
Really?
They a lot of times are directly after, like in the first months of January, and then especially after taxes come back. That's also a big time for tipping. But one thing that I will say is I've found almost in all cases that how the content creator chooses to talk about and interact with his sub number is very indicative of how many subs they get on a daily basis or influx. I've almost completely stopped talking about my sub number.
Yeah.
Like I barely mention it. I only bring it up if people ask me about it. And no question, I'm getting less subs than normal.
Right.
No question.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Where back in the past, especially like around Fallout and stuff, when I was approaching major milestones and we were talking about it all the time, I mean, we would, there'd be double-digit sub trains every few hours. Like it was crazy. So that I think is a much larger influencing factor than dates.
Okay. Ken, for YouTube, you were saying when I was watching your stream last week, you were mentioning that you can't wait till summertime comes back.
Oh yeah, summertime is when all the YouTube reviews come. I guess maybe it's because, like you say, you stream at 8 o'clock in the morning. Is that I don't know if you can read it on Twitch or not. Is that the demographic majorly American or is it overseas?
It's actually very EU heavy. The earlier you go, actually, one of my buddies, Elohim, streams at 3 a.m. every day, and he is an EST based person, so he's actually getting up at 3 a.m. and he gets a huge EU audience at that time in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Mine on YouTube is like 80% American, and like soon as August something, when all the kids go back to school, I can see the little line and it just goes and then it stays there until then it dips again in January and February for whatever reason, and then until April, at the end of April, maybe after April, it starts inching back up. Yeah. Like last summer, like if I put a video up, I would get about 300,000 views on the video, which is really, really good for me. Fantastic for me. And currently I struggle to get 100,000 and it sucks. It makes me feel like, I don't know, you kind of get to that base level of where you're happy with how things are going. And then when it dips, you're like, oh man. Oh, that
and then the
more.
base level readjust, right? For happiness.
Yeah. Then you just kind of gotta lower your expectations a little bit. Like Firewatch, Jesus Christ! I put up Firewatch and I have 11,000 views on it. I wanted to delete that video right now. It's just an embarrassment to me. But that's how it goes. I mean, it makes me feel like I don't want to put up videos that I know will do very well during the winter time. The the down season, and then like,
Sure.
oh, I could put it out this summer and like get more views. But it's kind of a shitty way to look at it at the same time.
I mean, it's a smart way to look at it. Why
but
put it
it's-
out now when you can make more on it in the summer? But
Yeah.
you were going to say something.
Well, I was going to say it's a perfectly, like, that's the natural way to look at it. This isn't only our passion, but it's our job too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when you're looking at a portion of your job that a lot of times you pour your heart and soul into, or spend hours editing or hours doing things for the express purpose of getting lots of views and having lots of people see it, and then they don't. I mean, that's nothing to feel bad about. Like, that's, I feel that I've done the same thing with old highlights and stuff like that, especially at the beginning. So I totally see where you're coming from.
It's that inward struggle of, oh, this is my job, and then but then I'm a huge douchebag sellout. Oh, what should I do? And then you put it up anyway, and then you're like, I really should have saved that. Yeah. But yeah, like I look at my analytics. My viewership per month is half of what it was this summer. That's how big of a hit we take. And then also, I mean, as far as the job part goes, ad wise, you guys may feel this too, that the RPM, or whichever one you want to call it, drops during January and February because everyone's liquidating their stiff.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, I gotta pay taxes, guys. I didn't make anything that month.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting from someone that did mostly YouTube to start off with in terms of where the revenue source was, but on Twitch, and Co and Z could speak to this maybe. I feel like January and February, we don't really make that much from ads, I guess is what I'm getting at. And so like the majority of our revenue is subs, tips, and then everything else is kind of on top. At least that's how it is for me. And so like in January, February, there's not really a big dip. Like it's not a huge factor when all the ads are just selling for like pennies, because the sub count is always the same year round, or the sub price, I guess is what I'm saying. The money that you get from a sub is the same. And sure, there's definitely dips in like the sub count for a lot of channels. But it's interesting to me that it's kind of turned into that now, where there is no like, I don't know, there's not a CPM that drops in January and February for Twitch. It definitely does, but it's not that big of an impact. And maybe that's different for Zeke and Co. I don't know. You guys can have your own thoughts there. I don't know if that's the same.
Well, I'm not so great to talk about ads with, because I only run a 3-minute block at the end of my streams. I don't run any
same
ads
here.
during my show. That's a good point. But honestly, I mean, ads give me more than I expect. I don't expect a lot. So, but I mean, I generally from ads, I can make 50 to 100+% of what I used to make at my 40-hour job every month.
Sure.
So in perspective, it's a huge amount of money. There's no question that there's other more lucrative parts to the channel, of course, but it's considering I don't do anything for it. I click a button at the end of the stream and I'm running my outros anyway. Like, I don't. It's fine.
Yeah. Zeke, same for you.
I started right when I started. The first thing that I said, like, I'm going to take a 3-minute break every hour, and I think that's fair. And it also like it gives me a chance to get up, make some coffee. Back when I was smoking, to have a cigarette, like that kind of shit. Like I would do that, and I'd roll 3 minutes of ads on the hour, and I thought, and I still do that. I still take a break every hour. I don't necessarily run ads every time, but I still take a break every hour. When I think about it, it's top of the hour, time for break, and that gives everyone knows that when they come to my channel, like they know, like if it hits the the zeros on the clock, that's I'm going to take a break. You can as well. You won't miss any of the action, that kind of stuff. But I've been doing that since the jump, and it supplements, but it's definitely nowhere near the lion's share, which is the subs and tips.
Sure.
But and you start to see like when it's actually worth it to do it, because when it's not worth it, it's just not worth it to do it both ways, monetarily or for the audience.
Sure. This is kind of a weird way of getting to this question, but Co brought up, when you worked the normal 40-hour a day job. Did you do anything prior to YouTube?
40-hour day job
Or 40-hour week, sorry. Look, I never have said these terms. I've never worked a normal job, so they're not.
Those poor uncalloused hands of yours.
He's on the Men in Black clock. It's like 44 hours in a day clock.
God, that would be amazing if you had that many hours in it. That'd be the best thing ever. I could get so much done. Anyways, Ken, before like YouTube, what did you do? What'd you work?
What did I do?
Or did you
let's
work?
See. I did. I did work. I had a full-time job. Excuse me. When I first started, I was still in college. Like, I just started doing it, for fun because I had no idea that I could quit my job and do it for a living. But I was studying accounting, and I had one semester left, and I said, "Man, this really sucks. I don't want to do it," and I quit that close. And I look back on that, and I'm like, "Man, why didn't I just finish?" But then I went to work. I worked at GameStop at the time. Yeah, that place. I was an assistant manager. And then I quit there and went to a Walmart distribution center. No, that was the last job. Before that, when the YouTube started taking off for me, I cut meat. I was a butcher.
Huh.
Nice.
And that was probably my favorite job I ever had.
Really?
Well, I mean, you just sat there and it was cool, and you just sit there working with your hands, a little bit, cutting meat. I guess whenever you have a job, it's more about the people that you're with, and everyone that worked there was cool, so I loved it. And then I went to work for a distribution center, stacking pallets for Walmart. And I was like, man, I'm making about the same amount of money that I'm making working this job, and this job sucks ass. But I took the job because it was more money. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm out of here. See you guys later. And then, look at that pit sweat.
Woo!
You guys are making me sweaty.
That's why I wear black shirts.
Black shirts always.
I'm not.
But
Surprised,
How swag was your strut out of your job?
Well, actually, the last straw is that I twisted my ankle, so I didn't really strut. I kind of limped out.
Twisted his ankle, swagging out the door.
I was like, ow, okay, that really freaking hurts. And I had to put in the accident report. And I was like, look, I don't want to work here. I'm gonna get out. And they were like, all right. And they walked me out, and I limped to my truck and left.
interesting.
But on the way out, I was like, yeah, fuck that place. Woo!
Must have been good.
It was like a week, a 12-hour weekend shift, 3 days in a row. It was hell.
Wow.
Well, you think having 4 days off, it'd be great, but those 3 12-hour days are the worst thing ever.
Did you walk out nice, or did you walk out like, fuck y'all?
Nah, I walked out nice. I was civil about it. The bosses were actually really nice people, but the job just sucked. I was a
You
pussy.
never know these days. Maybe all those people you work with at Walmart are the next big YouTubers too.
Oh, I don't know. Those guys are. I don't know if they have the personality.
I wonder if there's any, any distribution center or anyone that works kind of in the same butcher, any of type of jobs like that just have Twitch open all the time. Because I know a lot of security guards have watched or have commented saying that they're watching my stream while guarding whatever they're doing, which makes me question if they're good at their job if they're watching Twitch instead of guarding whatever they're guarding. But I wonder what type of normal jobs have Twitch open or have a YouTube video open.
I worked online. I sold things for a pawn shop on eBay and Amazon and Gunbroker, and I had Twitch here, work here, two monitors, just like.
I know people that have gotten second monitors at their job so they could watch Twitch while they work.
Really?
Oh yeah, 8 a.m. is a lot of office workers in the morning. Oh yes, I know. If I was working my old job back at the Clinical Research Institute, I probably would have been watching Twitch. I didn't know about Twitch at the time. But yeah, I mean, if you work a computer job and you have an internet connection that's not heavily monitored or blocked, and you know of Twitch, you probably are watching it at least a little bit.
I wonder how many sites have, or not sites, I'm sorry, how many jobs, how many companies just have Twitch blocked and YouTube blocked?
It's pretty common in large companies, and this actually got enacted shortly before I left at the place I did. There's just big blanket protection suites you can get and plug into your network to block thousands of sites at once, and a lot of those are getting Twitch on them. Primarily though because it's a data monitoring thing. I mean, they see huge amounts of data being streamed like Netflix or anything else to computers on the network, and they'll just shut it down like that or throttle it or something.
Yeah, I'm just reading.
I don't know who out there said you're a security guard guarding mental patients, but maybe Twitch, maybe can you do both?
Yeah, that's. I don't know. I'm reading the chat. There's a lot of different people from all different types of jobs out there that say they watch Twitch and are watching Twitch right now at their job, which is
nice.
Which is crazy to think about. that it has that type of reach to just. I mean, it makes total sense, right? But I never imagined someone who worked at like, I don't know. Someone said they were a real estate agent. Like, why? That's just crazy to me. That, like, that a real estate agent is just like, yeah, of course I watch Twitch. I'm like, yeah, of course he watches Twitch. That makes total sense. Duh. But I'm just like, that kind of blows my mind. I don't know.
A lot of jobs are so on demand these days, where it's like you're just sitting around waiting for a fire to break out before like you're a system admin or a data center supervisor or something like that. What else are you gonna do all day? An old company down my street would actually encourage them to like get Netflix accounts and watch stuff, and they stay
so they're active.
Issues, yeah, for sure.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I was wondering, like, because I was driving from LA back to Montana, and I had Twitch on like a lot of the time, just like on my
audio
dashboard.
only or the video and audio.
I had video and audio. It cost me a little bit of money.
Yeah, that sounds like that'd be expensive.
to do that. Yeah, it was a little shitty, but I wondered like how if like truck drivers do that shit because.
Oh yeah. Maybe. I'm sure there's somewhere in the truck driver rule book or whatever contract says like, yeah, don't watch movies during like primetime traffic.
Right.
Just driving down the highway watching a fucking stream.
Yeah.
Make it like tipping Co as he's driving. Oh shit, I almost got
yeah, like whenever you see one swerve, you're like, oh god, he's watching Twitch.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Phone analysis showed before he took out the other 3 cars, he was donating to somebody.
Yeah.
Has anyone heard of Watch.tv?
Yeah. Someone says they're a paramedic and watch all the time during their job. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I have a regular paramedic come into my channel.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me about him once.
Yeah.
He's very active in your tipping, right? Is that? Am I thinking of the right guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. The other thing, I don't know why we're on this topic, but this is a perfect insert question here. There's a lot of people on Twitch that I feel like throw around the term professional Twitch streamer when they're actually not providing, when Twitch is not providing enough to like live for them.
It's really interesting that you bring this up.
And it's like everywhere.
Not only that, those people will then give advice to other streamers or new streamers that is just in some cases blatantly incorrect.
Yeah.
And that there's certainly a lot of issues surrounding that. I was in a stream not a week ago where the stream guy who was saying he was a professional streamer, he had less than 100 viewers in there, and he was saying that a schedule isn't important, it's more about how long you stream. And I was sitting there in chat just like, no, don't listen to this. No, like this is totally wrong. Like this. But of course, I'm not going to start saying that in chat. But it's and also now there's a lot of like I also saw someone who had quit streaming because they weren't successful in their venture, as they have told me, or I've heard them say, and now they're writing streaming guides. And it's just like,
oh god, we still need to get some of those streaming guides from Amazon and read them.
Yeah, I know, right?
We never did that.
It's becoming kind of dangerous because there's becoming more and more people wanting to be an authority on how to succeed on Twitch, when there's anyone who could be an authority is going to say there's no guaranteed way to do it. We'll give you the best advice we can.
Yeah.
But there's so many unknowns that there's no way. And it's just it's getting a little concerning. It's getting concerning.
Is it kind of the same way? I guess it's the same way with YouTube. Is people are like, hey, how do you do this? How do you?
I was just going to ask that because I want to know, because I have like a shitty fledgling YouTube channel that I make, that I make like highlights from my Twitch streams. I don't make them. One of my mods does.
Right.
But yes, just lay it out. Like your like keys to YouTubing right.
The keys to success is that there are no keys.
Hold on.
Get the glasses out.
All right.
Oh,
really
man.
paying attention now.
It's a question that's asked all the time. Like, if I don't hear it 30 times a day, then I'm dead. But how are you successful on YouTube? How are you successful on Twitch? What do you guys do that's so different and special? Like when you started out, when you first got your big growth spike, were you just sitting there having fun being yourself? More than likely.
Yeah.
You know, it's there's no real way, especially on YouTube. YouTube gaming, like not the streaming thing, but just gaming on YouTube in general is so saturated right now that if you want to get into it, it's almost impossible. So luck is the primary YouTube key to success.
See,
Like,
that's what I was gonna ask, man. Like, it seems like more luck.
I think
Yeah,
in
it
Twitch
is.
it's the same for the. I mean, there's definitely like data driven things
Mhm.
that you can do on a channel that will net you some sense of success. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, a lot of it is luck, especially
It
for
is.
people that are like the mega stars of Twitch. It's
Mhm.
a lot of luck and right place at the right time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. When I started before like PewDiePie and all those guys were big names. They like whenever he did the shout out for me, he had like 30,000 subscribers, which in the long run now isn't that much. It's, you know, there's plenty of people out there that love to have that much, but you can't have a career with YouTube with just that many.
Yeah.
There's so many people coming in and so many people that are more deserving, I'm sure, that are out there than like say me or any of those guys. But it's so saturated that it's almost impossible to find them. You may do all the right things that YouTube recommends, like have a good thumbnail, have good quality videos, you know, entertaining videos, titles, and then use the top line in your description to get more search hits. You can do all that and still do it for years, even like go to the part where you keep trying and trying and trying like you're supposed to, instead of quitting because, you know, you get tired of it and you still may not ever get anywhere, which is depressing, really.
Are you understanding enough of? No one really understands it completely because then
Yeah,
YouTube
you're
would
not
just
talking
change
about
it. But
the YouTube algorithms are.
I'm talking about the YouTube algorithm. Like, do you follow the? There's like a subset of YouTubers that are just like, all right, this is how the algorithm works. This is what you got to do to make sure that you get X hit on X day at X hour. You got to post a video. Like, people think that they understand that, and eventually, I think YouTube changed it, or people said that they changed it because people figured it out.
It was years ago. They changed. Oh, like Reply Girls, they kind of sort of had it figured out back in the day, but they cut that off.
Yeah, yeah,
That's like the main things that you're supposed to do on YouTube to get hits on your videos is the most important thing. If you have thumbnails, is to have a good thumbnail. The thumbnail is almost more important than the video itself because
Yeah.
that's what people see and that's what gets them to click on the video. Secondly, is your title. Like the title, is it an alluring title? Like you see those top 10 fails, you know, oh God, this is gonna be funny. And the thumbnail is like a girl with her tits out. And then you click on it and you go look and you never even see that picture. Like the girl with the tits right in there. It's just to get you to click on it. It's called
That
click.
channel should be arrested.
or commended for just be like, yeah, of course I'm gonna put tits in my thumbnail. Duh. Like,
It's so funny to hear Ken say this because we don't even have control over our thumbnails. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
yeah.
Like thumbnails is so important, and like I talk about PewDiePie a lot, and we're friends. And like before he started, he had like part-time jobs, but he would make what he calls art on Photoshop and like try to sell it, and he sold some, and so he was really good with Photoshop, and I say that's why he got started so well. Other than just screaming at videos, and that's very shareable, just screaming at monsters in games.
Sure.
But
sure.
and then like somewhere in the middle there is your actual content to keep people coming back. The thumbnail gets them in there. Your content keeps them coming back. And oh yeah, you can also use the top line in your description, like I was saying. That's part of the algorithm. The first 3 lines, I think,
Really?
are included. So if you like have your title of like something that's searched often, like Deadpool, and then you put like Deadpool movie or something in the top of your description, then that can help your
Bumps you up in the search.
Yeah, there's I don't want to call anyone out specifically, but the Rad Brad in his description, like you're not supposed to put tags, like what you have in tags, you're not supposed to list
Right.
them in.
They banned that recently.
Yeah,
they?
but he has a very elaborate way of filling his description with them anyway, in ways that it looks like he can argue that it's not tags, and so then he gets a lot of hits from that also.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's ways to do stuff, but ultimately, like I was saying, it makes me feel bad for the guys that are deserving out there because maybe I can help them, but I can never find them because YouTube it's also saturated. It's hard.
I feel like there's definitely ways to kind of correlate that to Twitch. There's definitely ways to like gamify Twitch in the sense of what you stream or what is in your stream, but there's nothing like, the description or anything like that. That won't really, the title even so much sometimes will help you, but sometimes, a lot of times, it won't help you at all. So that's why a lot of streamers will just put like, this is my view. Like I've seen Tim the Tatman put like, this text is viewer bait. Click this. Come watch my stream. like he does it as a joke because it doesn't really help him at all.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think you've talked about how you use titles too, and I've kind of emulated it as well. You put a lot of chat commands in your titles, and it kind of gets people into the chat and keeping that. I say spam, but I don't mean it in a negative sense. Keeping that narrative up in your chat to always be talked about.
The flow of information.
Yeah, the flow of information up in the chat, so that's always being talked about, which I think is good and definitely something that a lot of people could do. But there's a right way to do that and a bad way to do that as well.
Yes, there is.
But yeah, titles don't really matter too much. What I was getting at in terms of like viewer baiting and in terms of content, I feel like the number one thing that kind of plagues Twitch is the idea, and we talked about this last show in the sense of how we could spend an entire show on it. I still think that's true, but the idea of follower inflation. And I'm sure this is also true in YouTube, where there's like subscriber inflation, where they get a huge influx of subscribers, but no one watches the videos.
Yeah, that's my channel is almost a prime example of that, really.
Really? You would say? You think so?
I have over, well, let's see. I can give you some examples. You may have been going somewhere else. Sorry.
No, go ahead. This is more interesting.
I have like 2,400,000 subscribers, and
Literally a small country.
yeah, and I put up the Firewatch video, and 11,000 people watched it. I find that channels that are older, that have grown slower,
Yeah.
get less views in comparison to their subscribers versus new channels that blew up, and a lot of their subscribers are still kind of fresh to the channel, I guess. Because after you watch someone for so long, you watch a video, you watch a series you like, and you finish it, then there's that that point in time to where they may not watch any more of your videos. They may stick around, or eventually they'll miss a video for the day and just not think about it and forget about you. Like it doesn't happen very often.
I feel like it's the opposite on Twitch in that regard.
You think so?
Yeah, like the channels that have been around longer on Twitch generally will get more viewers, but they might not have as many followers as some of these other channels that have spiked viewership doing giveaways and things like that.
That's interesting.
Wait, was that backwards, JP?
Yeah.
You're saying that the older channels that have more followers?
No, the older channels, regardless of followers, will most of the time have, like, growing slowly on Twitch can actually be beneficial in terms of followers, because you might get more viewers that stick with the channel in the long run, and that builds. Whereas if you spike followers with giveaways saying you have to follow the channel, blah, 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 and you do that every single day for like hours upon the day, you'll end up with like several 100,000 followers, but you'll get 2,000, 3,000 views.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, no, because it's kind of interesting. That is,
and that's what I was getting at originally too.
There's a lot of other cases where like people have been on Twitch for so long, but they either don't stream regularly or not on a schedule and stuff. So you'll see people with over 100,000 followers with less than 100 viewers.
Right, and that's definitely true too.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it happens.
But that also happens too with channels that stream with other big channels, and their followers go and follow him, or follow them. Sorry, I should say. Yep. But if that particular streamer where they found that person is live, they'll pick the original person rather than the new person 99% of the time. And so it's
absolutely
like follower accounts have on Twitch. It has importance, but I feel like it doesn't have that much importance in viewers. It has importance to like people that like sales. I feel like that's where the follower count comes into play.
Look at my numbers. Give me a brand deal.
Yeah. Because a lot of times there's not that many. There are, but there's not easily obtainable analytics from Twitch's side of things that you can present to someone who you're trying to sell to, other than look at my follower count. Like I have this many followers, and they're like, oh yeah, that's quite large compared to that puts you at X rank on blah blah blah.
Twitch is also, though, I mean, it's kind of interesting because Twitch is a really great sandbox to look at how all this stuff can work, because I have over 500,000 followers. 2 weeks ago, I was streaming Rainbow Six to about 4,000 people. This morning, which I have not had any kind of massive follower increase between now and then. This morning, I was streaming Dark Souls to 12,000 people, 3 times the number.
Right.
And I have had, there's less than 1,000 or less than about 10,000 follower difference in between those two times. And it's really crazy to start like diving into metrics.
It
when
is.
stuff can be that different.
Yeah, I've experienced that as
so
well.
wild.
With the other thing too that's very interesting is like, I don't know if this is the case for you as well, but when I'll get like big viewership spikes, I'll get actually less followers than if I was playing something that is not like on my channel regularly, where I'd get more followers that way. Like, I think perfect example is I'll get like 5 or 6K some on a good day with Overwatch, and I won't get that many followers. I'll get less than 100 followers from that, but I'll stream, I don't know, I'll stream Firewatch for 3 hours or 4 hours, however long, and we'll be talking about Firewatch later in terms of the actual game, but I'll stream that for 4 hours and I'll get like 500 to 600 followers.
Yep.
To 2 to 3 grand watching. So
There's
like,
two
it's really weird.
distinct different types of viewers. There are viewers that have already followed you and are coming to watch what you're playing. And then there are the new viewers that are on Twitch looking for that game and trying to find their next streamer.
Sure.
And every game has a completely different ratio of viewers that are already following that would want to watch and new viewers that are looking to follow new channels. And that's actually one of the reasons I almost always end my stream with like Rainbow Six or Overwatch, because those games on Twitch right now have a huge community of people looking to follow new people. So it's a great way to kind of end the stream. You know, it's almost always at the end of these streams when I'm streaming one of those two games, it's a different type of chat because there's so many new faces. You know, a lot of the regulars have seen the games a lot, so they'll kind of either go to other streams or log off for the day. So it's a different atmosphere, and you can kind of follow that between the different games. It's cool to be able to kind of transition like that.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for Ken. As far as that goes, do you have times like I know on Twitch there are times when you like, okay, I'll play the game because I mean I like the game and all, but like I'll play it because it's going to be good for the channel. You know, do you have times where you're like, oh fuck, I'll make another one of these goddamn videos because it's gonna fucking do well. I know it.
Well, happens to be that's mostly what you do on YouTube.
Is that most often what you do?
Yeah, it really is. Like I was saying earlier about me playing shitty Flash games and no. You know, being Twitch, you can actually play good games, like games I would like to play. YouTube is, I mean, there's a lot of people there, like they come and watch a cat video for 3 minutes and then, you know, they get the real short attention span. So you play some broken, like Skate 3, you play like Skate 3, some broken ass game. And what I call like you hyper edit it to where it's like cuts and just stuff keeps happening to keep them engaged. And, you know, like Five Nights at Freddy's is a fantastic example.
Sure. Yeah.
Who would want to play Five Nights at Freddy's for 12 videos or something? Like after the first few scares, you know what's going to happen. You're used to it. It may still make you jump because of the jump scare, but then you still go back in your chair and go, oh God, every time it happens. And on the inside, you're like, oh, kill me. This is so stupid. But everyone's like, just eating it up, making gifs of it, putting it on Tumblr. There's a whole lot of that on YouTube. It's all about making something very shareable, making something that they'll show their friends and that they'll comment about and like and watch the next one. Yeah, there's a ton of that, really.
So I'm curious. You said last year is when you were doing Twitch and getting like you said 3 to 4K viewers or something like that. What were you playing back then when you were doing that?
I was playing the horror games mainly, like Outlast.
Kind of what was on your YouTube channel in a sense.
Kind of like the stuff that I started with on YouTube. Like I had Outlast and then Outlast Whistleblower and then some Amnesia and like a lot of stuff that would get a reaction out of me that people like to see. Sure. That's what they want to see really when they watch YouTube. The game is kind of important, but mainly if like with my group of friends, they're looking at the box in the corner and seeing how you react to stuff. That's mostly what they're watching. Okay. And so I kind of brought that over as much as because it doesn't translate very well from YouTube to
There's
Twitch.
No edits. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, and then the reverse for me, like if I play a game on Twitch and then try to put it on YouTube, it usually doesn't do that well. Like really? Even if I edit it up and it's still I guess you have to do it just right. Like I have like right now I have a small viewership, so I interact with them a lot. And that does not translate at all to YouTube because it's kind of on YouTube, it's you and them. You just sit there and you play the game, you react to it. And if you talk to somebody else, like on a Twitch chat, then it breaks their immersion and they don't like it. And they stop watching. It's weird.
I never
then
thought
like when I
about that.
say, and it doesn't translate very well, like I can make a video for like, hey, I'm streaming like I used to do whenever I'd get like the lot of views I was talking about, but I don't do so much anymore. I don't know if it damages my channel or not, the algorithms, you know. But say 30,000 people watch the video of being like, hey, I'm streaming, and then like 1,000 people would come over, that was a pretty good ratio. And then I'm going in a lot of different directions now, but like playing with other like streamers to increase your viewership. Like I play a lot with PewDiePie and Markiplier and those guys. I don't get as much as you would think from them. Like I get a boost of like 3,000 subscribers, which subscribers on YouTube's free. Just 3,000 people, 2 million people watch the video, but only that little tiny amount of people come over. And then like you were saying, they will watch the original people before they'll watch me. So hey, they all played Firewatch. I put it up, and now that's my example video of the day. 11,000 views.
Gotcha.
Like terrible. And it just doesn't translate very. How does it for you guys? Like if you say either you guys like you have a friend that's getting started, maybe everybody.
I think Zeke has a perfect story. I mean, that's.
Oh yeah. How does that translate? How does it trickle down? I guess
Zeke has that look of I have a story. What?
Well, I mean, with man versus game, like you didn't grow yourself off of him, but you alongside.
Right.
And
you
then
copied him almost identically and absorbed who he is, and
it's kind of weird how that happens.
But it's also in the sense that he started to, while you started to grow, Zeke, man, he didn't. I guess maybe he just kind of like stopped streaming as much, or I don't know the exact words to phrase that, but basically when he kind of dipped off, man's viewers came over to you, and then you grew in that sense. Am I correct in saying that?
I would definitely agree with that.
Okay.
Basically, just to sum up, my story was my buddy Man vs. Game said, hey, I want to do the streaming thing. And I was like, streaming thing? I have no idea what you're talking about. It's like, yeah, we're going to stream video games. People are going to watch. People are going to watch you play video games. Same thing, conversation we've all had with tons of, people who know nothing about it. Why people would watch that? Yeah, people watch that. I would watch it. I don't know what else. I mean, I don't think anybody else would watch it, But he's like, oh yeah, it's going to be great. Okay. So he started, and I was there for like the second broadcast with two people viewing it. And it was on Justin TV. And I was like, man, this is fucking fun, dude. And it took almost 3 solid years of getting like almost zero money, nothing, zip. Like he was like broke, but he kept doing it. And then it finally just like when the subscriber program came around, it was just like overnight.
As it was for almost every other Twitch streamer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Subscriber program it made Twitch what it is. 100%.
And I started guesting on his couch. Like we would do men's days on Wednesdays, and I would just sit next to him and we play like co-op or versus games and stuff like that. And I still had my full-time job, and eventually came around that someone said, hey, or not someone, but like people were like, hey, why don't you make your own channel? I was like, no, I don't want to. This is his thing. I don't want to do it. I don't want to step on toes and stuff like that. We had a long conversation about it. He said, dude, fucking do it. And I was like, all right. So I made my own little dumb channel, and I made got my own little dumb gimmicks. And I started streaming after work every day. I would work 50 hours a week and stream 30, just to get it going. And then eventually like it started like, just going like snowballing from there. And sub buttons came around, or I got my, partnership, my sub button and stuff like that. And eventually actually in April, it'll be 2 years since I quit my job.
Nice. So what you're telling me is that man put you on his couch, and
pretty much, yeah. That was the casting couch back.
Full circle here.
It was black.
Was there any clowns or anything? Hilarity?
It was sweaty. It was awkward at times.
Oh man!
I'm like, are you sure? And you might still be able to find it, but I remember when we did when he had the first time he ever had 100 concurrent viewers. We were at like 80 something. We were like, come on, let's get to 100. Let's get to 100. And I was like fatter than I am now. And they're like, I'll do the truffle shuffle if we get 100 viewers. We get 100
I wonder if I
viewers,
could
I'll
find
do the
that.
truffle shuffle. And there's still a video out there somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but we got 100 viewers in the channel at one time, and I was like, and I did the truffle shuffle back when Justin TV was the Wild West, and you can show almost anything.
Oh, man.
But yeah, and then I did my own thing, and
Actually, I think the truffle shuffle would still be okay as long as you didn't show your nipples.
Yeah.
Torso nudity? Is that?
They have a thing with like
bellies are okay.
this area, but I think belly. I don't know what.
No, I think midriffs were banned.
Oh, midriffs were banned too.
I think they were.
Oh.
Maybe I don't actually. Look, to be honest, the real fact is I don't use a camera, and I'm also a male, so I don't know all these things. Like
You don't do that.
I don't do all this stuff, so I don't know. We'll have to wait till chat will know. Chat knows what's banned and what's not banned.
I have another question talking about the similarities and differences of YouTube and Twitch.
Sure.
With your community, like say I've been playing these shitty Flash games for a while because I wanted views more than I wanted to have fun, which I regret now. And now I've gotten myself kind of trapped in that. I got my viewership that wants to watch that. So if I try to go outside of that, then the views drop and I'm like, ugh, and it wants to pull me back into the evil part of clickbait. Is that how
100% happens on Twitch?
Yeah. How strong of a thing is that on Twitch?
Ken, just like any good casting couch, you just got to ease it in.
Just got to ease it in. Just slip it in a little bit.
Ease it in.
It definitely happens on Twitch. I mean, I guess my example is the channel for the most part. My channel for the most part started out, or I guess got noticed because of talk shows, and so I would start off, and I've always pretty much had, 5,000 plus people watching any show that I would do. Whether it was State of the Game, we would be 10K plus. This show's always been, it's been about 3. Now the average is about 8 to 12, I think, is kind of what we usually get, depending on whose channel we're on. Started out around 5 or 3.
I didn't bring very many people. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's not why you're here. But,
hey guys.
And then when I would do other things, just like normal streaming, I'd get I think 800 to 1,200. And then just as I've done that more, it's kind of transitioned, and that number's gotten a little bit bigger. But you can definitely put yourself into a corner, and you'll definitely see a huge view drop if you don't do what people know you for.
Well, recently, as far as streaming goes for me, I was like, I like to play Hearthstone. I'll stream it while I play. And
you're going to have a horrible time with that.
Yeah, 100 people are there, and I'm like, hey, we're just going to play. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like if I keep playing and more people start showing up, are they going to just leave whenever I play an actual game? I mean,
the thing with Hearthstone, it's one of the most unique games to stream on Twitch, I think. But Ko, you were going to say something. You were about to talk.
Well, I was going to actual real advice to your question and a serious answer. I've made a lot of different genre jumps in my Twitch career. I started as an MMO streamer. I only streamed MMOs for months. In fact, I only streamed 2 games for my first 2 months on Twitch: Defiance and Neverwinter Online. I then went to FPSs, and then I was doing all over the map, no schedule. The short answer is, now that I've kind of found a groove and learned from the many mistakes I've made on the way, the most important part about it is managing your community's expectations. So as long as they know what they're coming to the channel for, they know what to expect. You don't want to put them in a position where they open up your channel and see something totally different that they weren't expecting at all, because that's just oh shit. Their first question is, do I want to watch this?
Yeah.
And if they don't think that right when they come into the channel, it can be totally different. So I actually just recently gave this advice to someone who's breaking into variety streaming from single streaming gaming. And what we talked about it actually more than a few hours on Skype. And one of the things he's doing is he is now spending time telling his community his plans. He's not doing them yet, but he's telling his community, hey guys, in the next month, I'm going to be doing this and this. I'm still going to be doing my normal stuff, but I'm going to be putting some new games in. He's now doing different games at off hours, kind of easing that part into the channel. Once a week now, he does a different game in his main slot, but he still does his other stuff for 6 days of the week. You're going to see over time that become 2 and 5 days, 3 and 4 days, 4 and 3 days, until all of a sudden he's a variety streamer and still getting decent numbers. Mm-hmm. So it's really about getting your viewers what they want and not kind of springing it on them. Because I can tell you that doing that second one, just hey, I'm a full-time CS streamer, but I'm going to start doing variety, that can kill a channel.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate.
I'm going to go the other way.
Say it
I'm
again?
gonna go from variety to a single game. I just can't figure out what single game.
Hey, dude, that's the way. I wish I had a single game. I wish I was like
One where
Tim
you
the
can always
Tatman
go,
dude.
yeah.
Tim the Tatman's awesome because he has CS and he can play that whenever he wants. He gets amazing numbers. But because he's kind of versatile, he can play any other game and still top the charts on those. That's
Yeah.
where every streamer wants to be.
And
Having
even
a
get
game
more than
they
CS in some
always
situations.
fall back to.
Yeah.
No matter if there's no hype games out, no games they want to play that people are watching, there's always a game you can go back to and play, and you'll always get good numbers and good followers. There's very few games like that on Twitch. And having a place in those games and being able to do variety is like a dream for most.
There's very few streamers that can do that on Twitch as well.
Yeah, very
Tim's
true.
probably the best example of someone that can do that.
Tim is a really good example. Summit is also really good. He actually gets
Yeah.
great numbers moving around. Lyric is like the definition of successful variety.
Lyric's
streamer.
an anomaly, though.
He can do it. Yeah, that was going to say Lyric is an
Yeah.
anomaly.
Yeah.
One of the things, for example, I did was I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to have a fallback to whenever there was nothing else available. So what I did 4 or 5 months ago is I decided, okay, I'm going to become a franchise playthrough streamer. So if like I want to be known for playing beginning to end every game in a series, and whenever there's downtime, I'm going to pick a franchise and I'm going to work my way through it. And I've been doing that now for 4 or 5 months, and it has been fantastic. That is now where I sit my channel. And there's tons of stuff like that. There's ideas I had back then that I thought could also work. No other streamers on Twitch are doing it. There's just all these gaps and holes that no one is filling right now. So
Tell me more. Yes,
we'll talk after this. No, but it's there's
Wait a minute. Are we talking about filling gaps? Is this the casting couch again?
now back to the casting couch.
Are we doing that again? Because I don't want to do that.
You want to make sure all the gaps are full. You never want an empty hole, okay?
It's
Should we
still,
Should we keep
still
going?
wake up at night.
No, but the short answer is a lot of people get in these kind of these routines where they say, okay, well, there are all these big streamers on Twitch, and how am I ever going to succeed? And I want to start on Twitch, but everyone's already doing everything. No, already's not already. There's so many things that haven't even been touched on Twitch yet.
Yeah.
Take Future Man Gaming, another great example. He burst onto the scene with a completely unique idea, rocketed off at the very
Well,
beginning.
it got
of his
him noticed right off the bat. That's what it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's literally countless and endless amounts of things like that people can do if they sit down, put some work into it, think about what they aren't seeing, not emulating what they are seeing, but thinking about what's not being seen yet. That's where the next big streamer is going to be.
Yeah.
Well, when you talk about like people like Future Man and stuff like that, I think of production value in that. How important is that in YouTube, Ken? Like, is that?
Oh, yeah.
Does that, like, the better produced your shit, does that mean you get more views? Or
Well, the business side, like MCNs and YouTube themselves, seem to think that, and I don't completely agree, and I don't all completely disagree either. It kind of depends on how that's done. But as far as YouTube goes, actually, probably even between us, like as long as you have really good sound, like you can kind of sacrifice a little bit of the other stuff. If you have like a video that looks amazing, you got like a $12,000 camera, you got f-stops and everything's beautiful, and then your microphone sounds like shit, then nobody's going to watch that. But
I think that's true to Twitch too. Like audio reigns king in both. I would
yeah,
think.
but like
I hate to say it, if I drop into a stream and I can't understand the streamer because his mic is sounding like this,
Yeah.
yeah, you're out.
what are you
Same.
gonna do? Yeah.
I mean, YouTube's a lot of the old, like when YouTube got started, like it was just like somebody's webcam or little camera filming something dumb, and people have come to kind of just it's really relaxed. But then like like the networks have been part of a lot of things. They're very, overproduced, I call it. Like you got like a whole production crew and all this stuff going
Right.
on, and then it won't do very well. Like more often than not, those do less as far as viewership goes than just something I can make in my living room.
Does that kind of like suck the humanity? This is like that's a really strong thing to do, but like, does it suck the humanity out of those videos where it's not like it just feels canned? Like it feels like your YouTubers that you love and follow are acting rather than just like
we're all terrible actors.
yeah.
We're so bad. Like we have I have my little podcast that I do, and they're like, hey, you have a brand thing, read this. And then we have to read it like 10 times because we're idiots and we can't say it without, like, look at the camera and say it. And we're like, oh God, I have to
See, but
memorize something.
I've also seen that just in general, that fad of like fucking up the pitch or whatever promo you're reading has become a way to sell ads.
Yeah,
There are a lot of groups out there that will get a pitch and they'll bring a piece of paper with like what the company wants them to say and they'll make fun of it. And it actually works like so much better than what the company had ever intended of them saying in the first place. Because people respond to them just like ripping on it.
That's the main problem is when you get these big production, you get like a big budget and the company wants it this way. And the talent, they call it, the YouTubers or streamers become more, they just want the numbers on the page you were talking about earlier. Like, hey, look at these numbers. They don't want your personality, which is what the people that are going to watch you want.
Right.
I've been part of some where they have actually a recent one that you remember that the go-kart racing thing we've been doing.
Sure.
They have a lot of UK talent. I don't like calling them talent, but UK YouTubers,
influencers,
influencers.
digital influencers is the problem.
Because they're from the UK.
I just like I don't want to call
racist, sir.
And then
Fuck you, had films.
And this platform that they're trying to get us to sell isn't even available outside of America. So it's like half of the people they have on this thing, it's not. They're not getting anything from it. They're just there. And there's a lot of that happens. It's just
well, I mean, I've always been.
Think about this.
If you watched our show last week, I'm just a big believer that salespeople have no idea what they're doing. So
I have no. Sometimes I get it right, but most of the time it's like, hey, say this way. And I'm like, oh, this is really boring. Nobody's gonna like this. They're like, that doesn't matter. The
what we agreed on. That's what's in the contract. Just say it that way. We got to fulfill the contract.
Okay, I really enjoy whatever's in my coffee. In the end, and everybody's like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
You're not there to please the audience. You're there to please the money.
Exactly. Like you were cast because of your numbers on the page. That you weren't because you have a connection with your viewers or anything, your community.
Which is sad because I think the viewers will immediately see through that. But the opposite of that, if the person doing the ad or whatever actually enjoys what it is and it's like a genuine appreciation of the product or whatever they're playing, then it actually works out like super fucking well.
Yeah.
For everyone involved. But I guess that is the hard thing. That's like the golden ticket, I guess, in the sales world, is to find that one thing that works specifically for the product and also for the streamer that you have promoting it. So
well, and thankfully enough these days, I mean, especially on Twitch, we have the opportunity to do that kind of stuff. Like that is the golden rule of sponsorships. Only sponsoring things that you use or would happily use that you don't have already.
Right.
And like if you stick to that, it's beautiful. You're never selling out. You're always organically advertising because you use the shit anyway. Like it's a perfect synergistic relationship. Unfortunately, not always the one available, but you know, you can get to that point, and it's amazing when you do. It's awesome.
For sure.
Sales.
Yeah, salespeople are fun.
I enjoy talking about this stuff because I like to see where people like where their heads are at, where their lines are, like I will cross any fucking line, or like I'm not fucking compromising at all for anything,
Yeah. I think for the most part that line is pretty much for the most part to emphasis on that is always kind of being bent. Like it's always kind of wavy in the sense of like what a streamer will do or won't do.
You can justify anything to yourself.
Exactly. 100% you can.
It's coming across me a lot. They'd be like, hey, Ken, do you want to promote this thing? And I'm like, no, I don't want to. And then they're like, how about now? And like, show me the check. And I'm like, well, maybe.
Full transparency. That happened with the drop frames. Like we were asked to do a spot for something, I don't know, like 3 months back or 4 months back. I don't remember the date exactly. And it was for an astronomical amount of money where I was just like, you want to pay us how much to do what? Like, and then I saw what it was and I was like, I can't realistically do that and not look like a complete fake. Like it would just look bad. And Co and Zeke, thankfully,
it was for something we don't normally talk about. Had nothing to do with our show.
And Co and Zeke, thankfully, were both just like, I'm not interested in that. I was
like, sure, go ahead and do that. I'll take a break that week.
Yeah. I was like, great. Okay, awesome. I don't want to do that. It's fantastic. But yeah, a lot of people, I think you have to kind of learn where that, like, you have to either see someone fuck it up or fuck it up for yourself until that line is finally like solidified for a person.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people doing like real crazy shit and you're like, well, that's going to be awful. Turns out to be awful. Then that person's like, I'm never going to do that again. Like, I'm never going to have that happen to me again. And they learn
there
so
is
much.
Nothing worse than watching your favorite streamer obviously doing something they don't want to do.
Right.
Or obviously playing a game they don't want to do.
You see the sadness in their eyes.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Without naming
100%.
names,
Yeah.
like there was a stream a few months ago where I watched this guy all the time, and he was just so clearly not having fun. And at one point he was like, okay, only 30 minutes left of this. And it's just like,
just hate fucking the game.
and you see his chat just going crazy with like, why is he playing this? What is this? Is he having fun? Like, what's going? And I mean, it was yeah. We've talked many times about how you never want to stream if you're not enjoying what you're doing, and that is the perfect example of that kind of stuff.
Speaking about people asking if you're having fun, I get this question a lot, especially when I'm streaming, because I have my resting gamer face, which looks nothing like my YouTube face.
Sure.
Which they're like, Ken, are you even having fun? And I'm like, I'm just playing games, guys. Yeah, I'm having fun. I can't smile all the time. They're like, okay, you look like you're really bored.
That's one thing that happens on Twitch that doesn't happen on YouTube. Like, you get asked a lot of like, because there is such there's a dialogue between the streamer and the chat, right? So I'm sure you're not used to like being like, hey man, how do you feel about, or what do you like, just questions about your feelings, how you're feeling at any point during the day. Like, you'll get asked that a billion times. Too, you're probably sick of it.
Every single show, Drop Frames, I see each and every one of the guests in the chat pointed out they look bored. JP looks bored.
Right.
Zeke looks bored. Like, every single one, no matter who's on, at least one time, everybody gets pointed out for looking bored because we're fucking listening, and maybe some of us, like me and Ken, have a resting bitch face.
Yeah. Resting. It's concentration phase. You get really serious in the game, you're just like,
yeah.
Like, Ken, you're so bored. No, I'm not. I'm having a blast. I'm just playing this fucking game.
Dude, my favorite Zeke is, Co's not talking. Is he okay?
Is he okay?
That happens a lot too.
And I'm like, dude, if I'm not talking, that means I'm listening and I'm enjoying it. Like, that's a good thing that I'm not
at the
talking.
same time, I've definitely watched like a Comic-Con panel or something that's kind of similar to what we do, but with like Hollywood actual professionals, like Hollywood actors and whatnot. And I'll think the same exact thing. I was like, Hugh Jackman looks like he's kind of pissed off right now. And he's probably totally not. He's probably just hanging out. We're like, he's not happy. Something's wrong. They must have had a tiff behind the scenes. There's something going on behind the scenes. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, getting back to the whole doing like advertisements or like doing sponsored stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't personally, it's a personal decision for everybody, but I don't ever hold against anybody what they do for money. I mean, they're not hurting anybody. As long as they're not hurting anybody, I don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, the thing that always comes to mind is that old Dave Chappelle gag where he's like, I've done ads for Coke.
Did you read this on Reddit too?
I think Pepsi tastes better because they're the last guys who paid me.
Yeah. That was like a top comment on a Reddit thread. I read that exact shit today, Zeke. I'm wondering if you read that too. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I just
pulled it off
mine every time. I'm like, if you're like upfront about it, it's like Pepsi tastes better because they paid me last.
Yeah, it's perfect. I like it.
Don't bother me at all.
I like it. It's good
It
stuff.
doesn't, for me personally, it doesn't bother, and is not the right word. For me, it's more, I feel for a streamer when I'm watching him clearly promoting or doing something he doesn't want to do.
Sure.
And that happens, unfortunately, somewhat. As more and more companies offer more and more money to stream their games to people that may not necessarily be so enthusiastic about them, we're going to see that more and more.
Oh, it's going to happen.
There was a
no matter
company
what.
just recently that did a huge blast. They paid a ton of streamers to stream their brand new game. And there was more than a few times I was browsing that game registry and just saw people like not even playing the game for like 15, 20 minutes at a time, just talking to chat, like not even, second thought kind of stuff. And
Sure.
Yeah, that gets a little bumpy.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have a lot of practice to put on my enjoying face, even when my eyes are dead. Like right now, I'm miserable. Just kidding.
Good one.
That's a good. Great job.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
So far on Twitch, buddy.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
No, I feel you on that because I have a minor background in acting. Like, I've done a ton of stage, local community theater shit. I've done like some commercials and in front of camera acting and stuff like that. So I get that. I understand. Like, you can turn it on.
Oh yeah.
You can turn it on.
Well, it's like for YouTube videos, like they're not like on Twitch. I feel like you can be more of yourself. You can just hang out, play a game, talk, and then you take it over to YouTube. And like I was saying, the editing and the energy, you're like like you're sitting your camera up. Like if you ever do like a behind the scenes, you're like, all right, set my camera up, get everything ready, hit record, do the clap from a sound check, and then you're like, hey guys, I'm CohhCarnage Kid. I want to play this shitty game that I have so much fun playing, and I'll do this for 30 minutes, and then I'm like, oh god.
Yep. No, that's what I was gonna. It's interesting because like having done not anything crazy, but having just done YouTube videos and doing that exact same thing, I'm so much more at home with Twitch because I can just kind of be whatever. Like I don't have to put on that it's not a shtick. I don't have to put on that face basically, and it's also exhausting to do a 30-minute YouTube video is the equivalent of like an 8-hour stream for me.
Yeah, everybody's like, Ken, why don't you want to stream today? I'm like, I recorded a video, and like, it took like 15 minutes. I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
It was a terrible game, and I really had to ham it up.
Yeah.
I got to take a nap.
Yep. Because the YouTube audience is much more prone to watching for 15 seconds and then leaving. Whereas like Twitch retention rates are like, I don't know the actual numbers site-wide, but they're astronomical compared to YouTube, for sure. For sure. People are much more... Actually, Twitch statistics came out like last week. We should pull those up and look at them. I never actually looked at them.
Oh, quick segue. That thing they did for 2015 was awesome.
That's what I'm looking at right now. I didn't actually look at this.
That was so like the little scroll down on the right thing or the right side as you kind of move down the stats. I don't know who did that at Twitch, but he needs to do more graphics because I was showing that to my wife Lena, and we were
wow, this is really
we
cool.
were going down every detail and being like, okay, what changed in this one? Okay, what changed in this one? Like it was really well done.
That's pretty fucking cool. I've never seen this.
The entire time, like you can scroll from top to bottom.
Yeah, here you go. Monthly minutes watched per viewer, 421. YouTube is 291. It's the exact stat that we're looking for right there.
Ooh.
What is this? Oh, these countries had the highest viewership. Oh. I've never seen this before, so it's just kind of like silent judging.
like chat's like, what are they doing? And we're like, yes, this is extremely interesting.
Peak concurrent broadcaster was 35,000. That's knowing what the non-public number is for partnerships, partnered streamers. That's a very interesting number.
Oh, hey JP, do you mind dropping that link in your chat for the?
Oh yeah. One sec. It's right here.
And those asking in my chat, check out JP's chat.
It's twitch.tv/year/2015.
Oh, Aurelian got it too. Thank you, Aurelian.
Cool.
Yeah, there she is.
Okay, those are all those. Top 10 games streamed.
Hey, Aurelian, how are you?
World of Tanks is number 8.
Was that a
Russia,
Cartman voice?
baby. Russia, baby.
Holy
World of
shit.
Tanks. Why is World of Tanks? Who loves that game? I always see it.
Huge EU following.
Yeah.
Is it you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only is there a huge EU following, but they have regular tournaments. They have like big promoted sponsored stuff. World of Tanks is a fantastic example of a microcosm on Twitch that is going crazy. It's very similar to Destiny, except based in EU.
Yeah, and Destiny was 7.
Yeah.
H1Z1 was 6, which is also interesting.
For companies looking how to like...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What was that, Z?
Destiny beat World of Warcraft? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yep. 9 is World of Warcraft. It blows up even more. That's crazy. What were we going to say, Co?
I was just going to say, for companies that want to see like a good kind of template for how to run their stuff on Twitch and really make an impact, World of Tanks does a great job. They're very active on Twitch. They promote it regularly. They implement it in many ways. They very much promote and help World of Tanks streamers, always giving out codes and stuff to them. I mean, that didn't just appear out of nowhere. Like that has been fostered and promoted by the companies that make it. So it's a really, I actually played World of Tanks for a while, did a lot of research on it, and it's a cool little side.
I tried playing it when when GOM TV, which is a Korean esports league, started putting tournaments in for it, where like my friends Nick and Dan, Tasteless Artosis, StarCraft 2 primarily casters were casting it. Talk about people that, you could tell don't want to be there. Watching those two cast is probably one of the funniest casts I've ever seen of any esports thing ever, because they're just like, and that tank is rolling, Tasteless. It sure is, Artosis. Like it was that for like 4 hours every night for like a month, and it was some of the funniest shit of all time. I would definitely recommend go watching that for hilarity's sake. Another amazing stat: 35% of Twitch is watched on mobile devices every month. That's pretty fucking. That's a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. Web only accounts for 56%. It's kind of interesting. I never watch on the phone.
Yeah, mobile is the majority of my views on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, that's probably why the minutes watched is so low, because they're like on their phone and they get a text or something and close me out.
Sure, that makes sense.
Get-
League of Legends, BlizzCon.
Guess swipe right on Tumblr, or not Tumblr, whatever it's called, the dating app. I forget. Tinder. Yeah.
Tinder.
Gorillas. No, I'm getting text messages. People are like, "Holy shit, you're talking to itmeJP and Colin and E or Zeke. You're so cool." Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
17,000. Oh, here we go. Power rankings. Kappa's number 1. Of course it is. These are all pretty. Nothing really surprises me here in terms of the. I figured Salt would actually be much higher than 19th. PJ Salt should be much higher than that. We're almost done done with this thing. I've just never seen this before, and it's interesting to see all these different stats.
You never saw it, okay?
No, I didn't click on it. Here's all their charity stuff: Twitch in-game cameos, H1Z1, Rocket League, Xbox.
Oh wait, scroll up a little bit.
What's that?
Okay, hold on. Okay, a little bit, down, a little bit. Stop.
Oh yeah.
Now you see the St. Jude play live. You see who's on the cover for that?
Uh huh.
Oh, look
Did
at
you
that
raise
guy.
more than that guy?
I heard that guy's a sellout.
Maybe
tell anyone
they
now.
just like his picture better, but I like that they put him in the fucking goddamn. I'm kidding. I was on his team, to be fair. I was on the coalition team for St. Jude.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, now you know not to be on that team when you do your next St. Jude thing.
Zeke could not be on a team and still probably beat most teams.
Oh, you raised like what, 50 grand or some
God,
crazy
over
number?
50 grand he raised?
53.
53, yeah. It's insane.
Nice.
It's insane.
Interesting. Well, Zeke, do you know, are you doing something this year for them too?
Yeah.
Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, in fact, I just got a thing from Zach. He's like, yeah, if you're gonna come, you're gonna need to talk to me pretty soon. Oh, right, God. Okay.
There you go. Last but not least, Twitch drama. I love talking about it, but we usually don't bring it up much on the show. Does anyone know why Recful was banned?
Drop the drama.
Do what?
What happened?
Twitch.tv/Recful is closed. Does anyone know why?
Really?
It was closed
Wait,
last night.
What?
Yeah. It's just closed. I'm just curious because I don't know why.
What did Drageful do?
I don't know. He tweeted he didn't know why. I haven't checked his Twitter recently. Actually, I don't know if it's permanently gone or what. But it's
Wow. That's new.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let me go to his Twitter real quick. Oh, apparently he linked porn in his chat, and that's why.
Well, then.
I mean, that's a pretty strong case.
Oh, it's only a 48. It's only a 48.
Oh, the ban was for porn links in chat. 48-hour suspension. I was also unbanned someone who linked porn and told it was okay.
Did he link it, or did he just have people linking it in his chat?
I think he would have had to link it.
No,
for
he
that.
linked it, and he also unbanned someone who linked porn in his chat and told him it was okay.
Tally's like, kick Skype, JB.
Oh, Tally's all about that drama. I know.
Whoops.
We'll just see if it's what we already have said, and then we'll cut to a break. But yeah, I thought that was. It's interesting that someone that size got banned.
Well, I mean, he
He did link
example
porn in
of
his
it.
chat.
there are people that don't try to be dramatic, and then there are others.
Let's not try. Let's make sure we're saying the right words though. He's not banned. He got suspended.
Yeah, that's true.
40 ounces.
Because
Yeah,
I have to do that with my shit as well. Like when people like, why'd you ban me from your chat? I didn't ban you. Timed you out. The fucking difference.
man.
And
Mobile.
that's the worst thing to do, to come back in. Why'd you ban me? You banned again. Shut up.
Yeah. Double ban, bitch.
God, mobile Skype. Just you're such a bad program in everything you do. Can you just update so I can just
why
see
don't we
Tally's
all switch to
message?
Discord.
Does Discord have a mobile app yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They do,
we're
really.
Oh yes.
Holy shit. I didn't know. Oh, yeah, he said the same thing. Okay, cool. I'm glad it took 30 fucking hours for that to update. Let's cut to a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what we've been playing, actually talk about video games and all that stuff, and then go to the news of the week. So we'll take this quick break. We'll be right back, guys. More Drop Frames coming up with Cinnamon Toast Kin. See you guys in about 5 minutes. Bye-bye. For now.